Your mechanic has a favorite truck. You probably don't know which one it is. But if you've ever spent time around a busy repair shop, you start to notice patterns. Certain trucks show up again and again. Same models, same problems, different owners. The face behind the counter changes. The truck on the lift stays the same. We analyzed warranty data, independent repair frequency reports, and long-term owner surveys from over 40,000 truck owners across the United States. We looked at what actually breaks, how often, and how much it costs to fix. The results identified 5 trucks that are single-handedly keeping mechanics in business, and 4 trucks that barely ever need to see the inside of a shop. Here is everything you need to know before your next purchase. Let's start with the trucks your mechanic is hoping you buy. Number 5. The Nissan Titan, model years 2016 to 2020. The Titan doesn't get as much attention as the big 3 in truck media, which is part of why this problem flew under the radar for so long. The Titan's Endurance V8 developed a significant timing chain issue across these model years. The timing chain stretches prematurely. Symptoms start subtle, a slight rattle on cold starts, and a rough idle on winter mornings. Owners dismiss it. Then the rattle gets louder and performance drops. In the worst cases, the engine fails completely. Average repair cost, $2,800 to $4,500, depending on how far the damage has progressed. Nissan quietly addressed the issue on 2021 models. But Nissan's extended coverage ran out for many affected vehicles before the symptoms became obvious enough to trigger a warranty claim. Owners who bought these trucks used are discovering the problem after coverage expires. If you are looking at a used Titan from 2016 to 2020, budget for this repair before you buy. It is not a question of whether it will happen. It is a question of when. Number 4. The Ford F-150 3.5 EcoBoost, model years 2011 to 2014. Ford's turbocharged V6 EcoBoost was genuinely revolutionary when it launched. It was also a learning experience for early buyers. The 2011 to 2014 3.5 EcoBoost uses direct fuel injection, efficient but prone to carbon buildup on intake valves because fuel never washes over the valve faces. The result? Carbon deposits accumulate over time, causing rough idle, hesitation under acceleration, and reduced power. Cleaning requires removing the intake manifold. Expect to pay $600 to $1,200 depending on severity. Many owners needed this done every 60,000 to 80,000 miles. Ford fixed this on later EcoBoost generations by adding port injection alongside direct injection, but early examples are still widely available on the used market. Before you buy a 2011 to 2014 F-150 with the 3.5 EcoBoost, ask specifically about intake valve cleaning history. If the seller does not know what you are talking about, assume it has not been done. Number 3. The Chevrolet Silverado 1500 8-speed automatic, model years from 2015 to 2019. GM's 8L90 8-speed automatic had one of the highest complaint rates of any transmission in the segment during this period. Shuddering at highway speeds, harsh, unexpected downshifts, hesitation at low speeds when pulling away from stops. GM released multiple software calibrations trying to address it. Many owners reported needing 3 or 4 dealership visits before experiencing any meaningful improvement. For a significant portion of owners, the software fixes never fully resolved what appeared to be a mechanical problem at the core. Class action lawsuits followed. Settlements were paid. GM extended powertrain warranty coverage on affected models beyond the standard terms. If you are shopping for a used 2015 to 2019 Silverado with the 8-speed, ask specifically about transmission recalibration history. Multiple visits for this service tells you everything you need to know about what the previous owner was experiencing. Number 2. The Ram 1500, model years 2019 to 2021. The 5th generation Ram 1500 launched to universal praise in 2019. best interior in class, coil spring rear suspension that transformed ride quality, powertrain options among the best in the segment. And then the electrical complaints started. The Uconnect infotainment system was experiencing random freezes, unexpected reboots while driving, and backup camera failures with no obvious trigger. Ram released over a dozen software updates attempting to address Uconnect stability. Separately, trucks with the optional AIR suspension were experiencing compressor failures at a higher than expected rate. When the compressor fails, the truck drops to its lowest ride height and stays there. Average replacement cost $1,100 to $1,800 at dealerships. Ram addressed both issues on 2022 and later models. The platform matured. But 2019 and 2020 specifically are the years to approach with caution on the used market. Number 1. The Toyota Tundra, model years 2022 and 2023. This is the most important entry on this list. Not because the problem is the worst in isolation, but because the Tundra's reputation is still actively protecting it in the marketplace. Buyers are paying premium prices specifically because of Toyota's historical reputation for reliability. That reputation was earned honestly by previous Tundra generations. The current generation has not yet earned it. The twin-turbo V6 and iForce Max hybrid system brought real performance improvements. They also brought documented reliability concerns Toyota has been working to address since launch. The iForce Max hybrid system showed coolant leak issues on early production vehicles. The twin-turbo V6 generated an unusually high volume of turbocharger complaints, which for a Toyota product is remarkable. J.D. Power ranked the new Tundra below the segment average for initial quality in its first year. A recall covering nearly 100,000 units followed. The brand name is carrying the price. The product has not yet earned it. Any experienced mechanic who sees a 2022 or 2023 Tundra on their lift knows there is a meaningful chance they will see that truck again. Now the other side, the trucks that mechanics almost never see, the ones that make reliable ownership look almost effortless. Number 4. The Honda Ridgeline. The truck community has spent years dismissing the Ridgeline for its unibody construction. The reliability data has spent those same years proving that argument irrelevant. Consumer Reports has ranked the Ridgeline at or near the top of its segment for reliability every single year since 2016. Not once, every year. The 3.5-liter V6 is essentially the same engine that powers the Honda Odyssey and Pilot, engines with hundreds of documented high-mileage examples. When Ridgeline owners are asked what they have had to fix, the most common answers involve minor electrical trim items. Not engines, not transmissions, not suspension. Interior trim. If what you actually need is a truck that never needs a mechanic, the Ridgeline deserves a serious look. Number 3. The Toyota Tacoma, model years from 2016 to 2023. Before the new generation's reliability questions, the Tacoma built a track record that no other mid-size truck matched. The 3.5-liter V6 from this era is one of the most durably engineered engines in the consumer truck segment. Owners consistently report 200,000, 250,000, and in many documented cases, 300,000 miles with no major drivetrain work. The transmissions had criticism for shift quality, but shift quality complaints are not reliability failures. These transmissions did not break at scale. From 2016 onward, the Tacoma earned its reputation through consistent, documented long-term performance. If reliability is your primary criteria and you want a midsize, this generation Tacoma is the answer the data keeps returning to. Number 2. The Ram 2500 Cummins Diesel, model years 2014 to 2020. The Cummins B6.7 turbo diesel has been powering commercial vehicles and work trucks for decades. It is not a new design being asked to prove itself. It is one of the most thoroughly tested diesel power plants in the history of commercial trucking. 500,000 miles on an original engine block is documented and common within Cummins owner communities. 700,000 miles on original internals also exists. The engine demands proper maintenance. Service intervals, quality fluids, fuel system attention are non-negotiable. But for owners who treat it correctly, the Cummins diesel essentially outlasts the truck built around it. Number 1. The Ford F-150 with the 5.0-liter Coyote V8. Not the EcoBoost, not the hybrid Power Boost, the V8. The Coyote is now in its 4th generation of continuous engineering development. Every problem from earlier versions has been identified and addressed. The result is one of the most mechanically mature engines available in any consumer pickup truck today. No turbochargers to fail, no intercoolers to leak, no complex hybrid systems to replace. Natural aspiration means simpler failure modes, less frequent problems, and lower repair costs when something eventually does need attention. The 5.0 Coyote F-150 consistently ranks among the lowest in unplanned repair frequency in its class. At 400 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque, it gives up very little to the turbocharged competition. Maximum towing reaches 13,000 pounds in properly configured trucks. And when something does need fixing, it's straightforward, familiar to any competent mechanic, and reasonably priced. The 5.0 F-150 is not the most exciting truck on the market. It is the most responsible one. And responsibility, compounded over 5 years of ownership, is the difference between a truck that serves you and a truck that costs you. The real cost of a truck is not the sticker price. It is the maintenance record over 5 years of real ownership. Some trucks look affordable until the repair bills start arriving. Some trucks look expensive until you realize they never need service. Make your decision based on the number that actually matters. Subscribe. Next week, we are covering the trucks that are genuinely improving in reliability right now, and the ones getting worse despite what the marketing says. That is a video worth watching before you spend a single dollar.